moment matters.
What's
It was
going
the
on,
difference
people? I'm
between
back
you.
again. It's Monday, the 30th, last day of November. So yeah, I'm kind of in a groove right now. So I'll get online because I'm feeling it. Always something to share. Um, I appreciate the feedback. I do. Like reading comments. This one is to Hans. I am not one of those idiots, and I do take exception to people who listen to critics who don't know anything about music. What an idiotic thing it would be for me to diss the band Toto, or to say I don't like someone because they listen to Toto. Now, just how immature and ridiculous that would be. Now, I have my qualms when it comes to music. Mainly has to do with quality. People have heard me trash Kiss, and that continues. I really have very little respect for the band Kiss. Product, things that are just product. It's like I have no interest in that. So, talking about Toto, come on, man. Toto are consummate musicians. Period. That's reality, okay? That's not bullshit. Yes, and here's my attitude. See, I do have attitude, and I do have a lot of anger, too. All the time for a lot of reasons. So, yeah, I get irritable quick. So, yeah, I wanted to say that right away. That's just fucking... maybe you're trying to make a joke, but I've never met you, and so you have to deal with the fact that I've never met you, and so I don't have the proper context, and so some things you say just irritate the fuck out of me when I first read them, okay? Notice I'm explaining it well. I don't have the context. I don't know you. I've never been in a space with you. I think some of you folks are intelligent enough to understand what that means regarding interaction, communication, and perception. And if some of you get insulted by the way I put it, good. Catch me. Catch where I'm coming from. Okay, so I had another nice surprise yesterday. I get home. I had to go out. Necessity. I forget little things at the store. And when I came back, pulling in the driveway, I noticed a package on Sunday. That still hard for me to get used to the fact that things are mail and stuff is delivered on Sundays. It never was before. So someone, and I don't know who sends me. Someone sends me stuff directly from Amazon sometime. I should know who it is because they have my address, but I don't know who it is. And I had someone online remind me just yesterday that they had sent me something years ago. I had been interacting with them, but not really knowing who they are, and that just proved it. It's like, oh, you sent me something. I've never met you. I don't know, but thank you. I do appreciate it. So whoever sent me this new Thundercat, thank you so much. It is what it is. Thundercat. Thundercat is badass. I have a lot of respect and love for Thundercat. I've never seen him. He's been to Omaha several times, and I've just been this close to meeting him. I'm glad he didn't go to his first show here, because I heard about that. I heard about the disaster his first show was. But the last couple times, I didn't have the money, and I couldn't work it. I tried to work getting into the show, and it didn't work. My impression of Mr. Thundercat is that he's highly intelligent, very skilled, and he's doing what I want all musicians of all stripes and color to be able to do. He is running his business like a human. In other words, he's a black man, and that comes through his music and stuff, but he's a rock star. And he's just doing his thing with his eclectic look, playing the kind of music he wants, hanging with the people he wants to, and just being himself. And I love that. And this music is a rainbow. It's black and everything else. Apparently, his records are standard red. So I'm starting to think if anyone's got any black vinyl Thundercat, you got something. If they are released on black vinyl. That's a really beautiful color. Now, musically, this is really what I'm into. And so I have a term. It just occurred to me while listening to this album yesterday all the way through. This is hyper pop. This is pop music. This is pop music for the 21st century, for the future. It is pop music. A lot of the lyrics are just about hanging out with women and getting laid and just the typical stuff. But the music is just all over the place and very inventive, bubbling with melody, ideas, and chord colors that I just love. So whoever sent me the Thundercat, thank you. I love it. I really do. I really do. Something I pulled yesterday I want to try to talk about. I didn't research it to get caught back up, but I want to talk about it. And I want to try to talk about the Zappa movie because I watched that too. But the West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band, Volume 2. This is an original, 1967. These are kind of collectible. And musically it's good, but there's a bit of... If you know the story about this guy, Bob Markley, now what's happening, what has been uncovered in the entertainment industry through people like Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein, directly relate to this album because Bob Markley was openly a predator of young girls, and many of these songs are about it, and that's the creep factor. He got this young band to back him up when he saw them at a private Yardbirds party, and the teenagers they wanted to make it, they want to make records, but they were not directly associated with what this guy was. And look at him, The creep factor about it to me is the predator factor, okay? That's the part that sucks about the entertainment industry regarding people, how it continues to use the fact that people want to be musicians, they want to be artists, they want to be singers, they want to do these things, they want to be in the movies, and producers and directors and A&R people who have the power to open doors for these people consistently, unfortunately, take advantage of it. And that's the part that I speak out about. And if you have this album, listen to the words and catch the creep factor. Side 2 starts off with a song called Queen Nymphet. That's the part that I don't like, is taking advantage of people, okay? It's natural to be drawn towards beauty and youth. To take advantage of it and to abuse it is the problem. And he sings about it. And so, I like the music on this album, but as I was listening to it, my skin started to crawl with some of the lyrics, okay? Because I know it from the inside. Excuse me. Starting as a musician in my teens, first band before I even turned 19, the first management company we attempted to align with, that was one of the first things we had to deal with as underage people. Was these old guys? We want to make music, we don't want to have sex with you people. What the hell is this? Okay. So I broke down and rented the Frank Zappa documentary that just came out. There's been a lot of talk about it. And I don't have HBO, Netflix, all that stuff. I don't watch TV. I use the internet. But I broke down because I'm very interested in it. And I was reading a lot of commentary on it that just really told me I need to see this. And it's very good. There's quite a bit of footage in there that I've never seen before, and I'm a Zappa collector. He released in his life over 60 albums, 63 or so albums. Since he's died, they state that there's been 50 something more released. I probably have at least 50 of those, his main discography. I might have upwards of 60. I might bother and look today. But Zappa, when I first heard him as a teenager, well before I used drugs, freaked me out. It was like, what is this, you know? Brown Shoes Don't Make It was the first thing I heard. Freaked me out, okay? So I've got a bunch of Zappa, and I've met several of the mothers. I've never met Zappa, but I've met several of the original mothers of invention, and I've met Dweezil Zappa, and I recently got to participate in a recording that involved Moon Unit Zappa, so I feel this connection. So I wanted to share that. I also want to share that, you know, it's like, it's personal, but it is kind of something I want to kind of share because it means so much to me, you know. It does mean something to me, the fact that these artists I talk about who are my social media friends are actual friends. I had a conversation with Richard Barbieri of Porcupine Tree this morning. It's his birthday. You know, I said happy birthday, and he responded, and I went ahead and said something, and he responded. That is just golden to me. These people are just people, but the level of their artistry and the way that it has touched my life is seriously important to me. Seriously important. The last thing I want to say in this video, because I wanted to try to say it in the last video, was, you know, I made a reference to racism and about how black musicians, especially jazz musicians, you know, a couple of generations before me, the things they went through, you know, to play this music for white people who wouldn't even let them sit in the same room. You know, I described that music as the finest music, and it is the finest music. I listen to music that I want to listen to. Some of the music that I listen to, I can't tell you this is the greatest music you've ever heard. A lot of black music, a lot of jazz, I can say, even if I'm not showing it, is some of the greatest music you've ever heard or never heard. And that's just one of the sick things about racism, is that there's all this beauty which comes from people's culture, my main culture of blackness, although I'm also Irish and Choctaw Indian. It's rich, you know, and it is some of the best music ever. But I listen to what I want to. But I recognize quality and beauty. I do. But I'm a citizen of the world, so I don't have to listen to black music because I'm black. I listen to what I want to. Okay, much love, people. Much love. There's always more to talk about. Always more.